So the next question is from Lauren, and she's 14 years old. She asks, many people have different definition when it comes to defunding the police. What is your opinion and plan on that matter? Thank you for all your work and the hope you give me for the future.
Thank you so much for asking this question. And I'm always so thrilled when we have young people joining our town halls. So here's what I think. First of all, it's important for us to understand where these decisions are made, right? And so there's much to be made about how defunding the police has been an electoral issue, but defunding the police is not up to Congress. Defunding the police is up to city governments and states. And so, even when we talk about defunding the police being a campaign issue in congressional races, it also means that there was a very fundamental lack of political education that had gone on. But to answer your question, what I think it means to me is that I believe that the path towards justice is a long arc and that it happens in steps. And I believe that this call for me personally is a step to build a world where we are safe in more than one way. And that safety is not just an officer with a badge and a gun, but that safety is also a mental health worker that shows up when you're in crisis. Safety is making sure that you are not evicted from your apartment in the middle of a pandemic. Safety is making sure that when you go to school, you have all the resources that you need and that the school down the block has all the resources that they need too, so that we don't start to develop coping mechanisms that ultimately hurt our communities at large. And so what does defund mean to me? And for me as an elected official, by the way, this whole conversation is about me listening. So this term defund, when my constituents and my community is out in the street, heartbroken over far too many people who have been killed due to police violence, and when my community is coming out and saying and demanding this, it's my job to listen. And so what I think in this term and in terms of the steps that we have to make towards justice is that we need to invest a lot more in those other kinds of safety, because, and again, this is a city issue, but it is one that I'm free to be honest in my opinions about, although I don't have a vote over, is that our budget is too high. We have a $6 billion NYPD budget that goes up to $11 billion when you include other NYPD related expenses. And that is more than our city spends on housing, healthcare, and one other critically important issue combined. And I think that it is becoming sometimes these investments get to a point where they become a self-fulfilling prophecy, where, not even 3 years ago did we have a $6 billion police budget. Not even 5 years ago did we have a $6 billion police budget. And I have to admit that it's quite saddening that in this national conversation, it seems as though to many people, and so the way this conversation is playing out, is that defunding schools has been seen as a matter of course, but defunding the police in order to fund other areas has people going apoplectic. I think this is right now in its current step of justice. I think that this is about a budgetary shift, and that budgetary shift was presented, and we have not made that shift yet, and we need to make that shift. We need to have counselors instead of cops. you know, in having such a heavy presence in some of our schools, so that our kids and our young people just get used to being policed from a very, very young age. And I don't think that that's healthy. And this is not to say or disparage the work and the community building work and the changes that many people have made in our efforts towards public safety. But I think it is to say that we need to stop being so reactive to the cries that we are hearing from the communities that are being killed. And we have to listen to it. And we don't have control. You know, it's not my job to control activists. It's my job to listen to the community, and that is the current interpretation of what I've heard, and how those policy demands have been solidified. And I will continue to listen to our community, because I'm sure that that conversation will evolve, as all conversations do over time.